Welcome back to the Year Is Podcast, the podcast where me, Bobby Mair, and my friend Red Richardson travel back to a year in history and talk about the weirdest, the most fucked up, the most interesting things in that year.
We have a special guest with us today, comedian Sarah Keyworth. Hello, Sarah.
Hello. Oh my God. Thank you.
How are you doing? It's the first nice day in a while, isn't it?
It's such a beautiful day to be in a podcast studio.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
You wore shorts to come into the dungeon.
Yeah, I wore shorts. As I was leaving the house, my girlfriend said, do you want to take a jumper because it might be cold inside? And I went, no, I'll be fine.
Are you cold?
And she was right. She was right.
You're one of these people. I think my biggest hatred is when you see, it's not even hatred, just confusion. In the middle of winter, there is a certain kind of man who just walks down the street in shorts.
I do that sometimes.
Not even just shorts and a t-shirt. It'll be like shorts and a coat. And
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah,
what are
yeah.
you
That's
proving
awful.
right
Yeah.
now?
That's awful.
I find that those men often went to private school. I think there's a real entitlement. Like, they don't believe that the weather
Isn't
will
so.
do the thing that they don't want it to do. So they'll go out and they'll be like, somebody will arrange something. And then they realize they're cold when they're out and about. Also, I said this the other day to somebody. I think we were in Birmingham because we saw one of these men. We were in Birmingham. It was Ori Styler. We were walking back to the hotel after the gig. We saw a man in shorts and we started discussing this very topic. And I said that I think it's posh boys with no game. So they wear shorts on nights out to have a conversation starter.
Also, you look confident.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not afraid of the weather. Look
I'll
at my
do
fucking
whatever I
legs.
want.
I'm
Yeah.
a survivor.
So the girls come up and go, oh my God, why are you wearing shorts? It's
So it's like having a shit
November.
dog. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like having a dog.
Well, some of us actually have really cool dogs, right? And a lot of people just happen to want to speak to us about them.
Yeah, that's cool.
They're not all shit dogs.
I wanted to quickly, because I had a life-changing moment. I went on an e-scooter the other day, and I want everyone to give it a go, because it's a lot of fun.
Do you,
Have you done it yet?
you recommend it?
I recommend it. If you're going through a park.
He wouldn't stop fucking texting me about it. I kept getting. He rented 4 e-scooters in one day.
Yeah. Well, no, you just leave them at the port and go back later on.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
you didn't rent 4
Oh, at the same time. No,
and
no,
put
no.
one
like-
limb on each scooter.
like a mental dog walker, but with scooters. A lot of fun. It's a safe amount of fun. 12 miles an hour. Some people say they're too slow.
That's fast
I think
as they go.
I think that's it. That's enough for anyone.
Does it feel fast when you're on it?
Yeah, because you're just sort of stood on a thing and cruising along. It's great.
Is that the standard amount for every scooter, or because is that the ones you hire, or do the ones,
Yeah,
do
and
the
I
ones
think-
you buy go faster?
You could definitely get ones that go faster. You're just not like your own. You couldn't. The
yeah,
ones
yeah,
you
yeah.
rent.
You have to
they
buy
put
one,
a
and then
governor.
it's because sometimes they fly by, don't they? And it's really,
Yeah. It's you hate people on them.
yeah, awful.
But unless you're the person on them, then it's
You're having a
amazing.
great time. You're meant to go on the road, though. You're not meant to go on the pavement.
What did you do?
Bit of both,
So-
but it was quite late. No one was about. It was great fun. I recommend it to anyone.
I don't know if you're supposed to go on the road. Isn't there basically no laws about it?
they don't know what to do.
There's no legality.
They were going to
around
make them
it at all.
illegal, I think.
They
Someone
are
will.
illegal, but they're also there's nothing,
Yeah, no one quite gets it.
But didn't you fall and hurt yourself?
Well, I scraped my hand, but that's okay.
Oh man,
Yeah, it's
what
fine.
number scooter ride was that? 1, 2, 3.
I think that
4?
was towards the end.
That was the obviously it was the last one.
Well, I don't know. This is my question: whether or not Red got right back up on the horse,
Yeah,
or whether
no,
he was
no,
like,
that
"I
was
will
it.
not scoot again."
That was no, I still would do it. It was, but it was just a great discovery. And I don't know how far you can go with them, but
Were
I
you
would be up
drunk
for-
though?
No, I was
Because
just
we spoke on the phone and you just sounded a bit drunk.
Maybe I was happy after the
When
scooters.
was this?
was a few
last
days
weekend,
ago.
Yeah.
Because there was at some point this week, I woke up to a missed call from you.
Oh yeah, that was the same night.
at
that
like
was the
2
same night.
a.m.
Wait,
Yeah.
why did you call Sarah
I
at
don't
2
know. I think it
a.m.?
was no. It
we
wasn't
don't
two.
have we haven't got to the bottom.
No,
of it.
it was. I don't know if it was pod related. I can't remember, but that was the same night.
Wait, did you intentionally call her?
I
Mate,
don't know if that's
know.
true. I don't know if you did.
Do you know what
Yeah.
that means? You were definitely drunk. This is what he does.
Yeah.
You got drunk for the 4th e-scooter ride, and that's why you fell, isn't it?
That could have been what happened. Yeah.
I knew you
But
were.
I'm kind of sad that I didn't answer the phone.
Well,
now.
it would have been fun, but
Ah!
the minute Sarah said what night was it, I went, oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
I know why he called you too, because we were talking last week and Red was saying Sarah Keyworth is so fun when she's drunk. She's a great time. So what happened was he had it in his head that you were really fun.
I'm a fun
and
drunk.
he was now drunk and he thought Sarah will have a good time with me on the phone.
Yeah.
All of the other people I called don't want to talk to me when I'm drunk
that's
because I've
also-
called them too many times.
But that's also hilarious because the most recent time he and I have been drunk together was at a funeral. So
Oh, yeah. I didn't
love
drink that day.
I love. Oh, you didn't
No,
drink.
I didn't
so
drink,
I
no.
was wasted.
I
so
left
I
early
love
though, so I didn't see you drunk.
You
there.
didn't see me. So that's not the review from the funeral.
No,
I was
you,
on
you
really
said you were
good
drunk at the
form.
gig recently, and you
Yeah.
were, yeah.
Oh, I was drunk. I was drunk at that gig I did for you.
Yeah.
I wasn't drunk. I'm a professional, but
Yeah.
I'd had a couple
No.
of glasses of wine. And I am more fun as a comedian, which is really sad, isn't it? But I'm
You
a
just got
better
to-
comedian when I'm drunk.
Is that why you called her Red?
Yeah, I've totally forgot.
He's
And I
such
shouldn't have brought in e-scooters. And then as I was saying it, I was like, oh, fuck, I rang Sarah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then
I woke up
another time
worried.
getting ratted out on the pod.
But this is what Red does. This is Red's MO.
Well, we're doing a history podcast.
He
Well,
doesn't
I
lo-
woke up worried about him because I was like, "Are you okay?"
That's what happens
Something
when Red calls
happened.
you late at night. You wake up worried.
Yeah.
But he hates to be spoken about like this. So which is why I do it all the time. So he doesn't like it if he does something embarrassing and then other people find out about it.
But I don't think it's embarrassing
you,
to
Sarah.
call
I'm
I'm sure
I
it
agree.
would have been
middle of the night.
embarrassing if you guys spoke.
Yeah, that's the thing that I'm upset about. I want to know what
You
what-
never know.
I want to know what you were planning to say.
Do you
It could
remember
be
why
fun.
you called her?
No, it's probably
As I
just
was-
doing some calls.
So you blacked out. You dragged
No,
until
no,
you
no.
blacked out.
I think I was just calling people. I was like, oh, who's fun to chat to?
Yeah.
Had a
At
few
2:00 in
drinks.
the morning.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you know.
Sarah, you gotta
I'm
be
flattered. It's really flattering.
you gotta be honest, Sarah. Did you look at the phone and see Red was calling and not pick up?
No, I promise I didn't.
She would have
because I
answered.
have I use the sleep focus thing on my phone now. This is a new acquisition into my life where you set a timer and then it automatically goes on do not disturb at a certain time.
Oh, that's good.
And then when your alarm goes off in the morning, it comes back off do not disturb.
Have you thought about changing that from like 1 to 2 a.m.?
Do you know what I
Yeah,
can?
just so Red can.
You can put specific names in your contact list as like priority people, so that if they ring you, it comes through.
Oh, that's
So do
pretty
you want me
good.
to add
yeah,
you?
Well, add me to that. Add me to
Yeah,
that.
just in case Red is hammered one day.
Well, I don't. The comedians are out late. You know.
Yeah, it's true.
No one. It's not like you work for MI5 and you got to be up at 4 to try and kill Putin.
What? This is Red nervous. He's
Well,
getting nervous now.
he's
He's
bringing up
nervous because we're
Putin.
on to him. Red,
Yeah.
who else did you call that night?
I think I spoke to Ed Knight. Had a good chat with him.
He would have been awake.
Yeah. Who else
It's
was
in the
there?
name.
Me and Ed's up late. He's a late guy, so I think me and him spoke
Yeah.
till like
That's
3
why he had
a.m.
to change the name, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, we had a good chat, me and Ed. So there we go.
Good.
Anyway,
Good. This podcast is being recorded at 2:00 in the morning.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's the basic theme. We go back to a year in history. Look at the craziest mental. Well, Bobby's done the intro already.
Thanks, Red.
We are doing 1900 today.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
year 1900.
The year 1900.
Before the telephone was invented, so Red wouldn't know what to do when he was drunk in the year 1900.
You have to write a lot of letters.
he just knock on every. Hello, excuse me.
Yeah, you just shout through the letterbox. Say, what are
Yeah.
you up to?
Sarah.
Now, there's probably a lot of that going on back in the day.
Red, why are you holding your computer?
Because I'm short-sighted and it's far away.
Okay, here, it's a Google Doc. Put it down. I'll make it bigger. This is. Well, I mean, you didn't think it through. How big do you think it has to be, Red?
Just enough for my eyes to see it, Bobby.
Do you wear glasses?
I need to. I just don't like the way they look. And
So I'm sort of I'm sorry, but I'm going back to the e-scooters.
Yeah.
Wait, so you were drunk, short-sighted
on an e-scooter,
on
yeah.
an e-scooter,
And I
Yeah.
can't wear glasses because you look cool on an e-scooter, but if you wear glasses,
Doesn't work.
No,
Doesn't
you don't
work.
get any respect.
Yeah.
How's that, Red?
That's perfect.
I made the font the size. You know, like when you see like a 90-year-old with a phone,
Uh-huh.
and the font is a size on their phone that is like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know they made font that big. That is how big the text has to be
you
for
get
Red to
two
read
letters on the screen at
Yeah.
a time?
So, in 1900, Bobby, you'll probably love this woman. Complete party pooper. She's called Carrie Nation. She begins her crusade to demolish saloons. Hated pubs, this woman. She had a husband who died of alcoholism and she took it out on the entire world. She described herself as being a bulldog running along at the feet of Jesus, barking at what he doesn't like. So pubs started to hate her because she'd come into pubs with a hatchet and attack people because she hated drinking so much.
I think that's a reasonable reason to hate someone, isn't it?
Yeah, she was very angry against it. But so she's called Carrie Nation. People used to put pubs in pubs. They put signs saying "All nations welcome, but Carrie." Which, given that the people's,
I'm starting to think I might understand why her husband drank.
Yeah.
Like she was quite like,
Yeah.
I just gonna have one, sweetie, and she just ran at him with an axe, and he was like, you know what? I'm going to the shed. I'm gonna come back when I can't see.
Yeah. No,
I wonder what her project was before he died.
yeah. There would have been something she
What
was
was she mad
intensely
about?
focused
Yeah,
on.
it wasn't just alcohol. It was something
Yeah.
before that.
It
No,
was
she-
probably just him.
The president was assassinated in 1901, and she was happy about it. William McKinley, she said he was probably a secret drinker and got what he deserved.
So it wasn't even a public drinker.
I feel like her husband must have been a mean man.
Why?
Well, if she hated drinkers that much, she didn't hate alcohol.
Mm.
She clearly hated drinkers,
Yeah.
which I would surmise means her husband maybe drank and treated her in an untoward fashion.
But wouldn't the logic follow that then when the drink killed him, she'd be really into booze?
Happy with the drink because it got
Yeah.
rid of the terrible man.
It's confusing. She hated the drink, but it's what killed her husband. But then she hated the man who drank who was president.
Because he was supporting the pubs.
Yeah, this is saloons. He was a secret
He was a
drinker.
secret-
She didn't even have any evidence that
Secret.
he was a drinker. She just thought he got what he deserved because
He
he
looked
probably
like
had a drink.
Yeah. But weren't they all drinkers in?
Yeah, that's what I thought
1901?
everyone used to drink.
I swear, like babies drank back then.
Yeah, they put like whiskey on things and put in the mouth so that it like put the baby to
so
sleep.
She'd just hatchet anyone. Would she buy a drink when she went?
No, she'd come in and just attack people.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
she
also
was-
against the rules, isn't it? 'Cause
Yeah.
it's customers only.
She would just come in and ruin everyone's time. But basically, so she then became really famous and started to exploit her name by appearing in vaudeville in the United States musicals and also in Great Britain. Nation, a proud woman who was more given to sermonizing than entertaining, found these venues uninspiring for her work. So she went on a tour.
So she started. Did she kill people?
No, she just go into a saloon and go "fuck you" with the
Right,
hatchet
okay.
and sort of.
But she
Cause
became
mayhem.
so infamous that
Yeah.
then she was like, I'm gonna do a tour.
Yeah. I can
Yeah.
try and sell a few tickets off the back of this.
Hey, do you guys like fun? Well, I'm the opposite of that.
Yeah.
Come out for a night of no fun.
So-
Do you want to have a drink? Relax?
Not here.
Not here.
She was. A report said she failed to click especially with foreign audiences. She was also struck by an egg thrown by an audience member. So she'd get up.
She launched a campaign against eggs.
Yeah, she'd get up and try and sort of. They'd all be expecting a good
March
night.
She
into
invented
farms.
factory farming.
Yeah.
Just like we need to put all these chickens in one cage and kill them all.
Yeah, I think she
That
wasn't
president
well.
was probably a secret chicken.
And she also claimed to have invented the aeroplane.
She was wasted the whole
Yeah,
time.
I think
yeah.
she was drunk. That's the problem.
It sounds like a drunk lady
Yeah.
pretending she's not drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate drinking.
She would have.
I never drink. It actually really makes me angry when I see other people.
I feel like she would have
Do you know what
called.
I'm gonna hit them with my hatchet.
And she started selling pictures of herself. So like an OnlyFans, like Kerry Katona kind of now. Who's become a millionaire, Kerry Katona.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? This is kind of the first instance of somebody being famous for the sake of being famous,
Yeah.
really, and being famous for an infamous
Yeah.
for being disliked.
Yeah. And then it
Yeah.
just ends up with you selling pictures of your body.
It's like the Tinder swindler's got an agent now.
He does.
Yeah.
He's killing it. Yeah, he's got an agent in America.
I would love to swindle the swindler, to book him for some kind of, like, you invent a TV show, right? That's not real, and say, hey, we would love your client, whatever his name is, the Tinder swindler, to come on our show, but it's actually a prank show, and you prank the Tinder swindler.
That was only you could front that show as well. I think.
I could
Do you
do
think
it.
you could get him on Killer Camp?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we'd kill him off
Yeah.
right away.
Just immediately. He's the first
Blow
one
his head
to
up.
go.
So when this lady died, there was a fountain was erected in her memory. And there's a myth.
You're joking. She got a fountain.
Yeah, she got a fountain. By the Women's Christian Temperance Union.
So
It sounded like a lot of fun.
all the other no fun ladies who hated drinking.
Women have to work so hard to get statues.
Yeah, and this one managed. Well, if you're in with the Women's Christian Temperance Union, they'll give you one for almost anything. But so the fountain was erected, and this is a myth apparently, but I like to believe it's true. Apparently, the fountain was destroyed a few years after its erection, when a driver of a beer truck lost...
I can see what you're reading, and it says the word inception, but for some reason
I said
you
erection.
chose to use the word erection.
Why? It's just
even
more
though
fun
it's
for our
not
listeners.
on the document.
It's more fun for our
It's not.
listeners.
That's not canon.
It's fun for the people who listen. They'll go...
People love erections.
Yeah, that's a different... it's just a funny word. Don't tell them what I'm doing. This is my broadcasting
Red,
technique.
no one thinks you're making this up.
Well, you are making it up.
Yeah.
It's not. He's not reading from the script.
No, this is
He's
just
gone completely
Wikipedia.
off book.
I've gone off book. Anyway, a beer truck smashed into her fountain that was erected in her honour.
That's really funny.
Apparently.
Did the fountain fill with beer and then like start to?
I'm sure it was
and
water,
then-
but then it was covered in beer. So good
I
riddance.
like the idea that it's a beer fountain from then on.
I kind of respect her in the sense that she was a famous killjoy.
Mm.
Like
Yeah, if
she
you're gonna
just,
do anything, be the best at it.
yeah, like she was really good at making people not have fun. And if you were drinking and someone ran in and started screaming at you not to,
Mm.
that's quite unifying for the people in a pub
Yeah,
or in
yeah.
a saloon. That's a great time. Like she kind of would bring. Also, then you go home and you're like, you're never gonna guess who came in. Like, what?
Yeah.
She's real?
You got like a hatchet in your neck.
Yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, I don't know. Is it Carrie Nation?
But also, without videos, like you can't go viral. Like the word, how she must have done it a
Yeah.
lot before she started getting a rep for it.
I think mostly the reason she got famous was because of her name.
What, Carrie Nation?
Yeah,
It's a pretty cool name.
you wouldn't forget that name.
No.
Carrie Nation. There's already a brand there.
Yeah,
isn't
yeah,
there?
yeah.
Should we all change our last name to Nation?
Yeah.
Bobby Nation. That's a better name.
That sounds insane. That's
Yeah.
so good.
Sarah Nation.
Serenation. That sounds like it's
Serenading.
It's like
Serenation.
a real word.
Red
yeah.
Nation sounds like my show on GB News when I'm quit
Yeah.
comedy.
Red Nation sounds a bit like a rash.
Welcome to Red Nation. Me and Piers Morgan talk about what's important.
Yeah. I think it'd
Um,
be called Seeing Red.
God, that was
Seeing
my
Red Nation.
debut.
That was the name of his.
Was it the name of your
He
TV?
already did his name of his show,
yeah.
Seeing Red.
Well, it
you
wasn't
knew
my idea.
from the second you named it, though, that was a bad name for a show.
Yeah, I gave the name for your show, which you now deny. Anyway,
What was the name of your show?
It doesn't matter.
he's currently touring.
Was it called
Don't go watch it.
Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo?
Yeah, Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo. No, it's Cockroach, the show I'm on tour with,
Oh, that's good.
where
then.
Red opens for me most shows.
Ah.
We're supposed to be in Brighton tonight together.
hmm
However, Red got another gig.
No, what happened? A few weeks ago, Bobby said, I got a preview that night, but I can skip it to do your Brighton gig. And then he went, no, don't bother. Do this gig. Do your gig instead. And I arrived today and he's like, you're coming to Brighton with me tonight. I was like, no, you said to do this gig.
The thing is, he chooses to do all of his business via subtle conversations that he expects me to remember everything he says.
What I
It's
should
like
do is
if it's
tattoo them
business,
into
you
his
send an
hand.
email.
Yeah. But I think you're probably both in the wrong there.
Well, yeah, I'll email him after we've spoken, just notes of our conversations.
Actually, no. Now you said that. I think Bobby's entirely in the wrong.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sarah.
Yeah, no.
It's good to have
because-
someone
because if you
sane on the
said to him- if you
podcast.
said- if you-
It's great to have a moral. Oh, we've invited. I didn't know we invited a moral arbiter of the podcast.
Just call me Carrie Nation, please.
Carrie Nation. You're being a real Carrie Nation right now, actually. What I think is.
Yeah, I'm a bulldog snapping at your heels.
Yes. With doing Jesus's work.
If you said to Red, don't do it,
Yeah.
you can't then be. Can you remember saying that? That's the
I
thing.
vaguely remember the conversation, but I don't remember it really.
You do
But-
remember it.
No, I don't. I like when you say it happened, then I think, oh yeah, I remember it happening, but I don't know if that's because you're telling me it
No,
happened.
you think I'm gaslighting you?
No. What I think is I genuinely just lost the memory.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what
But you can see that it probably
he
happened.
knows my memory's not great.
Okay.
So he told me something and expected me to remember that. That's pretty rude.
Mm.
I would expect you to remember something if I told it to you, though.
Yeah, it was probably Friday, I think it was.
So it's not even
Yeah, it
long
wasn't
ago.
even that. We were on the way back
It's
from
Wednesday
Liverpool. Yeah,
today.
so
When a woman has a child, a man is also affected, and I have baby brain.
Oh, okay.
But
All
his
right,
baby
then.
sleeps 10 hours a night.
Here's what
Baby
no
sleeps
one.
more than Red does.
Okay. There's all these parenting podcasts.
Yeah.
My baby sleeps 10 hours a night. I would never. You can't tell anyone that. I have to
No.
lie to people. I have to lie when people are like, oh, God, it's horrible. I'm like, yeah, it's really hard. You wake up every 12 minutes. Like, I don't know. My kid goes to sleep at 9 p.m., wakes up at 9 a.m., 8 a.m. It depends.
It's so fascinating to me that
And
you
I have to
and Harriet have the calmest baby.
I
in
know,
the
it's
world.
insane. Because it's like obviously just going, I'm not going to be
Yeah.
like
what
my dad.
alchemy is this?
Yeah.
That these-
I don't know. Maybe it's like we have all the same awful genes and somehow they canceled each other out.
They all killed each other.
Yeah,
What did
yeah.
you expect their baby to be like? Let's get into that.
Screaming?
Yeah.
A screaming, crying mess.
Constantly screaming.
Forgetful screaming.
Not even drawing a breath. Just
abusive.
wide-eyed fear the whole time. Yeah. I expected the baby to immediately have a Canadian accent as well.
Oh, it's gonna sound like you, and it's so sad.
Yeah.
We were on.
Hello, Father.
Oh, please.
Hello, Daddy.
I've just seen a ghost.
Is that what?
I don't sound like you.
I've just seen it, guys. We were on FaceTime, and the baby smiled when she heard your voice, didn't she? So that's good. Knows who you are.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Mm.
I spent enough time with her. At this point, you better know who I
You're
am.
putting in the hours. So.
Okay, 1900. This is going to be a big one for both of you.
Okay.
The Central Line, London Underground Railway opens. Central Line. What's your thoughts on the Central Line?
This is such a good podcast.
No.
Why did you introduce it like that?
Because that's how I did it.
The Central Line, first of all, is a great line.
Okay.
It's an amazing. Okay.
What's the best stop on the Central Line?
Oxford Street. All the shops, Hamleys.
Oh
Do what
my
you want.
God, you're a basic bitch. No, that's fair.
No, the reason I brought this in because actually what I didn't know is that I thought all the lines were all part of the same system and companies and stuff like that. They weren't, and there was rows between the Central Line and the Northern Line. They were all arguing with each other because I just thought it was part of the same thing.
Well, they
They
were
were
independent
privatised.
Yeah.
companies.
Yeah, so they go, look, I'm just going to dig a hole by your hole, and we'll see what happens, buddy.
My hole's gonna cross your hole.
Yeah. So there was a lot of that going on.
And what did any of these fights amount to anything?
No, someone bought out the rest of them in the end. They ended up selling it. But you could just get underground, dig a hole, go, this is the Central Line, and the other people can't because
Is that why there's no uniformity in the names of these lines?
I now just that second realise that's probably it. Yeah.
Because you get the Central Line and the Northern Line, and if they're the first two, are
Yeah.
they the first two? I don't know. I can't ask you. I've been told not to ask. I've been told to not clarify any facts.
We didn't tell you not to ask questions,
You
Sarah.
said no. You said don't ask questions that we won't know the answers.
Well,
to.
it makes us look stupid.
So I can't. What I want to ask is,
Bobby knew
were they
and
the
has
first
forgotten
two?
which ones were that. No, I think this was after the other two. But I just thought that was kind of interesting, an
Yeah.
underground war between tube lines.
I love the idea that back then the law hadn't developed enough that you could dig a hole, and as long as it was underground, nobody owned it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Because
imagine if we did that now.
I would dig under every mansion and be
Imagine
like,
how-
I live beneath you now. And I'd burrow like a little mole underneath a
Rat.
mansion.
Yeah. Imagine how many vape shops would be underground.
Yeah.
We do that now.
Could you just dig? What is the rules now? I don't know.
I don't think you're
You're not allowed to just.
You
dig.
But
can't
like
dig-
here, could you dig down for like half a mile if you wanted to? Who's going to stop you?
I don't know.
I
You
think you
go-
have to get like
Planning
planning
permission.
permission, right?
For a hole?
If you say I want half a mile down my
Yeah,
I don't know, because you have to get planning permission for like how high you go.
Yeah.
But I don't know how if you do for
You
how
do
low
for a basement.
you
You have to get planning permission to dig a basement. But what if I was to build a dungeon a couple 100 meters below my home
yeah.
to store my nemesis in?
And in this
Yeah,
hypothetical situation, you don't want to tell anyone.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want everybody knowing
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
Red lives in a dungeon.
Yeah, yeah,
But I want them to think
Red gets embarrassed about that kind
Yeah,
of
they-
thing.
Yeah.
they should just think he somehow disappeared. They don't know where he is, but in actual fact, he's beneath me in a dungeon,
Mm.
and I throw food down the well.
I think I suppose if you're doing that, you're not I suppose you're not going to be focusing on
I've already broken
doing it legally.
Well, I've
you
already
know.
broken a law, but I don't want to keep breaking laws. I'm not a law breaker.
Mm. Oh, you'd have to get planning permission. You'd have to say it's a basement.
Oh yeah, maybe
And
I'd
then
say
make it a dungeon. Yeah.
that's good. That's
yeah.
good.
And every time you say basement, you wink.
It's a basement.
Yeah. And they go, "Why do you keep winking?" No reason. No reason at all.
I love to wink at people, and nobody winks back.
But is it a twitch or is it a real wink? Does that upset people ever?
When I wink like this, does it upset you?
No, but I could see if it could upset someone. They go, I don't know about this.
You can understand why it would be upsetting.
Yeah,
Wait, does
yeah.
this upset you, Sarah?
Well, no, because I know you're going to do it. If I didn't know you and you were opposite me on the central line and we made eye contact in a brief moment, I looked around, you were sat like you are now opposite me, and then you just winked, I think I'd be unsettled.
I can see that.
But also intrigued.
No.
I don't think so.
I think it'd be this guy has a basement.
Not on this occasion.
I know
Not on this
who he is.
occasion, Bobby. Yeah.
I have a fun wink. I have.
You're like holding planning permission for a dungeon.
This is I'm building a basement.
What, has people commented on your wink before?
I've had comments. I don't like it. Please stop winking.
Are you a winker then?
I'm a winker.
This is a
No,
genuine
I've got out of
question.
the habit though because I've been so shamed for my winking.
I think you've winked at me before, actually. I think you have at like gigs and stuff. You've given me a wink. And
It's like your hello, isn't it?
No, it's more
But
my
you know,
goodbye.
a wink means
Yeah.
this. I'm not telling the truth. That's what a wink is. So when you go, "Hi, nice to meet you," that just means it's not nice to meet you at all. It's quite rude.
Is it?
Yeah,
Does
wink.
it mean
People
I'm
go
not-
wink, wink, meaning I'm lying.
Yeah, but does it
That's two
exclusively?
winks.
Does it exclusively mean that?
I don't know.
Because sometimes people do it when they're like,
Flirting. Oh, they go, yeah.
yeah.
But it's like a naughty thing, isn't it?
It's cheeky. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
that's what
cheeky-
it
I
always
think
is.
it's more
cheeky act.
sarcastic flirting. I don't think any winking has ever led to real fucking.
Where did it
No,
come
no,
from?
no,
Did
no.
you? Is this from a mentor of yours or something someone used to know?
Wait, you think I had a mentor
Yeah.
that was a winker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was it?
I don't know where I picked it up. I must have
We're
saw
going to meet
someone.
a Canadian man in 20 years' time. You're like,
I'm-
oh, I knew Bobby.
Do you think you'll teach your baby to wink?
I must have saw some charming magician and thought, yeah, I want to be like this guy.
It's probably a twitch that you've like tried to phase into being like a Fonzie
I
thing.
do
Tried to
not
take
have a twitch.
ownership of,
I have a
yeah.
wink.
Well, fair enough. Sarah, have you had any great times on
a permanent
the
wink.
on the Central Line? You've ever had a blast on that tube station?
I don't know if I ever have had my only memory of a Central Line story is one I don't think I can tell.
What? No, of course you can tell.
No, I can't.
Well, this is a really tough
Yeah.
subject because it's fucking boring. So if you've got a
But
story,
it's not
that
a
can
story. It's not a story. It's just the thing I thought of when I thought of the Central Line. But it was just that I used to work. It's not even interesting, so we'll cut it out. I used to work at a special education school, and there was a boy who was obsessed with the Central Line, and every day he would go, "Did you come on the tube today?"
Yeah.
And I would go, "Yes, I did." And then he would go, "Did you come on the Central Line?" And I would go, "Yes, I did," because that was the only way
Yeah.
if you were going on the tube.
But that's nice. That's a nice daily conversation.
Yeah,
But you
it
never
was-
went, no, I got the Bakerloo line today, to be me.
Yeah, but I think if I did, he would have been interested in that.
Well,
too.
weirdly, that's interesting because me and you worked at the same place, not the same school. But remember that guy? Who was the guy?
It's Ryan.
Ryan. I found him on Facebook because he owed me money.
Ryan, I shouldn't say his surname.
No,
I
but he was
don't know.
selling NOS balloons. So his job was he would recruit people with no qualifications like me and Sarah to be like teaching assistants.
Yeah.
For like a school with like.
Well, loads of
It's like
different
an
schools.
agency, so they just place you for daily work. in
Okay.
schools,
Yeah. Loads of schools. So, but he weirdly, like a month into it, he was like, "Do you know Sarah Keyworth? Because she does the same thing." I was like, "Oh, that's funny."
Yeah.
But he,
I think you gave me the information for him.
maybe, yeah. I gave a
So-
few
so
comics because they're like, "We want
He
comedians."
said to me, "Do you know Red?" And I was like, "Yeah, he's the reason I'm here."
Did you
this
feel
is this is not a coincidence.
Did you feel qualified while working with these children?
No, I did not.
I didn't at all.
I didn't feel qualified.
They'd
But
send
what you
you-
realize is that you're placed into a school, and it is like chaos because there's so many children, and they have to have constant supervision. So it has to be like something like, I think it's one adult to every two children or something.
So you had your two
And-
kids you'd be watching all day.
No, like Yeah. Well, you wouldn't be watching them all day. You'll swap around and stuff. But the quantity of adults to children is huge.
Yeah.
But which is why there's so much daily supply work at these schools. But like you'd realize talking to the other people that work there, you'd be like chatting to them, and then they'd be like, "Oh, so like, what is it you do?" And you'd be like, "Oh, I'm a stand-up comedian." And they'd be like, "Oh, great, I'm a musician." And then you both just go into the classroom together and be like, "Well, let's look after these very vulnerable children together," because there's just nobody there was actually a teacher.
Did you find? I found I daydreamed whenever the teacher was talking, because you'd be sat with one, and then they would come and they go, "Right, everyone go off and do," and you go, "I can't, I don't know what the fuck."
But it's funny if you're daydreaming and then you're mad at the kids for not listening, and it's like, well, I mean, it was so boring, even I didn't listen.
Yeah. No, I had to take a load of them to Kew Gardens, which was a nightmare, because there was like 3 teachers with 30 students, and there's just 10 like 8-year-olds.
Yeah.
Just fucking mayhem, and you're like, oh god. Really got to keep your wits about you.
I did like working there though, because what I will say is that because at that stage of my life, I think I was so obsessed with my comedy career and like wanted to be a full-time comedian and was like unhappy with where it was at, that like you can't go into a school like that and think about yourself all day.
Oh, I did.
But like I couldn't, because if you look away for a second, chaos just ensues. So you're like have to be quite present. It's like a really painful form of mindfulness.
Just forced to be in the moment.
Yeah, if you look away for a second, somebody will bite you.
You do. I got bitten a few times.
I got bitten.
Didn't you get bitten on the dick?
No, there was a kid who, I don't want to say, but there was a kid who they said, look, he grabs men from behind, like male, older, and he was
Red, we know what penises are.
No, I'm just saying he grabs, so he doesn't grab the kids, he grabs men. Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
So he grabs men from behind on the dick, and he loves the teaching assistants. And he was 8, so I had my eye on him, and then I was just trying to teach this kid, and
it's hard, isn't it?
He just like, goosed me from behind.
Your instinct there is to be like, well, I'll just stay as far, because what you don't want to be is then the TA hanging around that kid.
I know, it's so bad, but he was like reversing it. Do you know what I mean? Reclaiming. But I once was stood there because I'd already been got by him a few times, and I was stood there talking, and I just felt this movement behind me. I looked around, and he just went and just walked off. So he got caught and just about to strike.
So it's like, was it like a funny prank? Like,
I think it must have been because it got an extreme reaction.
Yeah, it gets extreme reaction, and it's his idea of a prank, but he's got to grow out of that.
I had it with I was walking through Stratham Common, the rookery. This was like last summer, and this was a child that I did not know, and it was not in a work capacity. And a small boy walked by, and it was like the little bridge thing that goes over the like little stream. So I like stepped back to let him go by, and he sort of like really flamboyantly like walked across and then just stroked down the front of my shorts.
Ooh.
Just went like that and then carried on walking. Unfortunately, my girlfriend was there, because otherwise I'd have been like, I could be like, did you see that?
Yeah,
she was like, that's so weird. But it was just a real like kind of like
4 years old, you said?
Like I don't know how old, like I don't know, 5 or 6 or whatever. But just a real, like, almost like feeling the texture, like if there was like a wall or something, you'd be like, oh, what's that like? And I was just suddenly like, what a strange thing to do.
Yeah, it's a weird, it's not because like you're saying, you can't just then cancel the boy and stay away from him.
I did.
Well, yeah, you did with that, but I was working with this.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was my guard was up.
Yeah.
And
your penis?
No.
Your
my guard.
My guard was up.
So good if Red called his penis his guard.
I was in the rookery.
Guards, seize him.
I lived in Stratham for like years, but I only ever went to the rookery once, and it was at like 9 a.m. And the reason was, so the night before, the people I lived with had this big party, and there was this guy who lived there, and we were all high on MDMA, and he like tried to kiss me, and I wasn't very interested, and I could tell he had his eye on me for a while, and I liked the attention, but I'm just like, I just wasn't interested. So it did, whatever, we were friends, it was all fine. Then we get a knock on the door at 7 in the morning. We're like, who's here at 7 a.m.? And we're all just fucked. We open the door. This guy had met a woman online and moved her here and married her and not told anyone because he was a gay man. He was a gay man.
Moved her from where?
Coincidentally, I think Ukraine. But, so maybe I don't know what happened. I haven't seen them in a long time.
Kindness, I suppose.
Yeah.
So, this guy had a wife and hadn't told anyone at the party he had a wife.
She was looking for him.
Yes. Because he had said, I'm going to a party, I'll only be a little bit, you stay here. Left her at home so he could go try to fuck me, which I think is rude. So she gets there at 7 a.m.
It is rude.
And gets there at 7 a.m. And all these people are like, who is this? Then he has to be like, this is my wife that I was telling you about. Remember? Like, you know. And it was
And did you all go, yes?
A bit, but I think she still knew, you know. She still felt that. So I felt bad for her. And I was kind of annoyed with him for the way he's going about this. Not even the hitting on me, really. It was the way he's going about it.
Yeah.
So to get him back, I tried to fuck his wife.
Oh, my God.
And I took her for a walk in the rookery. And she was really up for the attention, but again, not interested, which was fine.
Okay.
Is this like 8 a.m. in the morning?
It was, like 8 a.m. in the morning.
And is that's not how you met Harriet?
No.
Oh.
That is the only time I've ever been to the rookery.
Oh, okay.
Did you try the wink? Did you try the wink on her?
I probably winked. I was really high. I imagine I blinked and winked.
Yeah. That's so, but she must have been completely sober, right?
I think so. We were still friends. Like, we were friendly.
Wait, so she came
nice
looking
to
for
meet
her
her.
husband, found a load of trash people, and went for a walk with one of them.
Yeah. She was
Okay.
quite a lonely person because her husband had convinced her to leave her husband in this other country. I think it was Ukraine, but I can't remember. So he had met her online and like got her to leave her life there and move here to be with him. And then he left her at home and went to a party and tried to fuck me.
This is. I wish I'd been there.
What would you have done?
I just witnessed it.
Yeah.
That's enough.
I just wish that I'd seen it because all of it is so. It's quite complex.
I know.
And I need to. It feels like you're describing a TV show, and I'm like, I'll just watch it because I can't. I just go and watch it, but I can't. So keep talking. Is what I'm saying. I'm so confused.
Well,
But
I have another
anyways-
big
Are
one
they
for
still
you.
together?
We fell out of touch.
Is that because you wouldn't have sex with him and she wouldn't have sex with you? So
Well, it really did. It really the things we were all interested in, the others weren't interested in.
Yeah.
Well, she wanted to have sex with him. He didn't want that. He wanted to have sex with me. I didn't want that. I wanted to have sex with her, and she didn't want that. So it's like a sexless triangle where nobody was getting what they wanted out of
Yeah.
it.
Oh man, but the rookery is nice. Isn't
The
it?
rookery was nice. That's what I remember. The rookery, like, oh, this is nice. Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever been in a sexless triangle.
No, I didn't know that was a thing until that was my first and only sexless triangle.
Yeah.
Well, talking of sexless triangles, December 31, 1900, a large standing stone at Stonehenge falls over. The most recent time that's happened.
So this is the last day of the year. This was
Yeah,
New
31st.
Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve. One falls over. Not recorded since. Why? No one knows.
I think someone pushed over a stone at Stonehenge. That's obviously what happened.
Have you been to Stonehenge?
The big
big
Stonehenge
stones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
somebody went, Happy New Year, boom, kicked over a stone.
Could have been. Or it could have been something more interesting.
Do they put it back up?
Yeah, they have to, they get loads of druids in and they pick it up and
They don't
place
have
it back in.
druids.
Well,
They
who
don't have
else is doing it then?
Yeah.
Right, they don't have a
Druids
group of
don't
ancient
work
people.
on New Year's Eve. This doesn't make sense.
Wait, what is a druid?
The druid is the people who built Stonehenge. They're like old priests, but like more sort of spiritual.
But they've got guns.
They don't have guns. They've got white outfits, I think. As druid? When was the last time you saw a druid?
Never.
I
didn't
know
even
from
what they
Asterix
are.
and Obelix, they're druids in that, and they've always got a white beard and wear white outfits. But they built Stonehenge thousands of years ago with stone carried all the way from Wales, and no one knows how it got there. You guys are aware of Stonehenge?
Like maybe a truck.
No, this was like 8,000 years ago.
How do you know it's from Wales?
Because they tested, they had
Have a little note made in Wales on it.
No, yeah, they had someone check the rock face, and that said where it just seemed like it was Welsh. I think.
Yeah, this looks like Welsh rock to me.
But it's a,
Tell him it's Welsh.
it's a huge, everyone comes from miles away. But they do New Year's Eve parties at Stonehenge, which is funny, and they also have the summer solstice there. But loads of druids, people who still consider themselves to be druids, come along because it's like their mecca.
Yeah.
But then loads of people, teenagers, come along and just do pills there. So it's like Ibiza meets Mecca, and these druids are just sat there watching their place get destroyed by young partying children.
Clearly somebody kicked over the stone. That's obviously what happened. Some kid was like, I bet I can kick that over. And then someone else was like...
But they're big, right?
They're massive.
They're not kickable over. I just think maybe that one wasn't particularly well...
No, I think this kid had a good kick.
Yeah.
One of the best kickers of his day.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing has fallen since, and they've managed to, you think about all the people who go past it. Not a single person has gotten out and kicked it.
Do they glue them, though? That's my question.
Is there a sign that says, please don't?
They got a little sign. Have you guys not been past Stonehenge?
No, I've driven past it, but I've never been.
You can't get very close, Red. You can't, get up.
No, I haven't. I've just driven past it as well.
Well, then what are you talking about? You're shaming us.
Sign?
Hmm?
You've been as close as we are.
Yeah.
What sign did you see that you're talking about?
I didn't see a sign.
Okay. This is all getting very confusing, and I think you knocked it over.
Well, it wasn't me because it was a long time ago. But also, this is a bit more fun for you. Louis Lunch makes the first modern-day hamburger sandwich, 1900. 122 years ago. What I don't
Was
get
lunch
is...
named after him?
Oh, I haven't even looked... Yeah.
So is he...
Sarah, again, this is you...
Did he create lunch?
Let me have a look. Fuck's sake, Sarah. You're not meant to ask
We
these
need
questions.
the answer to that question.
Red, the pulling of the computer towards your eyes is so funny.
I need it.
I
No,
want you to have a little set of reading glasses as well.
I think it was just the name of him. Convenient name. Actually, I fucked it. Sorry. His name was Louis Lassen of Louis' Lunch. But his shop was called Louis' Lunch. Okay?
No, wait. So the shop was called Louis' Lunch because the word lunch existed. And Red just confidently said, Louis Lunch invented the hamburger. And then we were like, oh, that's interesting. It's lunch. It's lunch named after him. And Red was like, I'll check into it. And then he's like, actually, no.
Lunch was already a thing.
Lunch was so much of a thing.
Well, it'd be a very good name for him if
It would be good.
Louis
but that's
Lunch,
what I was
the man
intrigued
behind
about,
the burger.
whether or not he was like, oh, I got to do. Whether lunch was already a thing and his name was lunch, and he's like, I got to do something big.
Got to do something with this name.
Yeah.
We've got to make a blooper reel of all the times you've got facts wrong on this podcast.
It wouldn't just be me.
It would mostly be you, though.
Well, I come with a lot of info.
But do you sometimes do the facts? Because right now, the way I'm seeing this,
we take turns.
Okay,
we take turns.
Is that Red's delivering the facts and then getting them wrong, and you're laughing at him.
Well, it's pathetic. But often I do that. I did the facts on the last episode. I don't think did I get any wrong?
No, but it was just
interesting.
like...
No, you don't have fact checkers.
There wasn't
live,
much
do you?
historical
I'm
stuff.
questioning a lot of stuff on it.
I don't call about on it either. There's a lot of times I go, I'm not sure about that.
You're
But I just
sure
let it-
about
let it
lunch.
You
carry
are
on.
questioning the man being named Louis Lunch.
So his name's Louis Lassen.
Louis Lassen. Probably wrong there. Lassen. Made the first
so
hamburger.
he added Lassen. Like
Well, I just thought French accent would make me sound smart to get
Yeah,
out of the
yeah.
other bit, It's
His
obvious.
name's Louis Lesson.
Yeah.
His name
Louis
is Louis
Lassen. I just think Louis Lassen. Why not? I would have gone with that if I was him. But yeah, he made the hamburger, which again, that's just beef in between. I failed to believe that no one before, as if you just serve a burger and then bread, and then he just went, what if I just did this?
So he didn't invent.
What he's saying he did.
But he didn't invent the burger patty.
No,
He just invented the
sandwich,
concept of putting
it
a
in between
burger
two.
in a bun.
Yeah.
But then you say that, you go, I don't know if that's an invention. But
It's not really.
But he did it.
No, but I'm sure someone did that before. There's
Yeah,
got
but
to
they
have been
didn't,
people.
because lots of things, people do before, and they don't think to go, hey guys, look what I did.
Yeah.
And then and then you see it, you see the burger on the shelf, and you go, I've been doing that for years.
Mm.
But you've never called it like some dork called Tim who's just been calling it Tim's Surprise.
Yeah.
And he's like, do you guys want to try this thing that I make that's quirky? It's called Tim's Surprise. And then they're like, eventually one day someone goes, this is a burger, man.
Yeah.
And he's like, what are you talking about?
It's been going on for 5 years, but
Yeah.
you've been in it for 20.
But he's been doing it for ages.
That's why you got to patent it.
But also,
Yeah.
like, you ever have that thing where because you're eating like some kind of, like a full like meal, and they'll give you like, you'll have meat and then you'll have potatoes, and then they put a bun on the side, and you have to eat a dry buttered bun,
Yeah.
and you're like, this is disgusting. But Louis Lunch, he fucking fixed that. He was like,
Louis
put it all
Lasson.
together in a
He figured
sandwich.
it out, yeah.
Louis Lunch. We're calling him
We're
Louis
calling
Lunch.
him Louis Lunch. Yeah, no, I just don't. Well, like, surely in Roman times, someone was eating a bit of pig and eating a bit of bread and went, ooh. You know? I just
Yeah,
don't
but
see.
he didn't have the foresight to like brand it.
Brand it, I suppose. And then, here we are 122 years later, the world dying of diabetes thanks to Louis Lunch.
How does how does diabetes relate to a hamburger?
Burgers, eating too much, getting too overweight, then getting diabetes. America, thank you.
McDonald's.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, Red.
Wait, what do you think it is?
Louis
No, no.
Lunch
You think
it's not
is
Louis
the
Lunch?
biggest mass murderer
Yeah.
in the history of the world.
It's just great.
What?
Like, this guy probably didn't even die rich.
No.
And then 100 years later, his name is back.
It's not even back, is it? His name's confused.
Okay, well, we're nearing the end.
That's going to be a great transition.
Yeah,
isn't it?
here we go. Seamless,
I
as
like
per
that.
usual.
Okay.
The Queen Mother, big fan of her, Sarah, I believe?
Big fan.
You did your
Big
debut
fan.
hour about her, didn't
yeah,
you?
I
In
did.
Edinburgh.
Yeah. About
the Queen Mother
one of
and me.
my favourite mothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Queen's Mother. Big British institution she was.
Loved her work.
Loved, yeah. She died, but she died, obviously, in 2002, I think. But
Is that Queen Victoria?
no, Queen Elizabeth's mum, who's fondly known as the
She
Queen
wasn't
Mother.
a queen, was she?
No, she was married to the king who died, and then her daughter, the lovely Queen Elizabeth, who we'd all die for, who's still in charge to this day.
Are you a royalist, Red?
No, I just think Meghan Markle. No, I'm joking. So she was born.
Red's siblings are called White and Blue.
Yeah, red, white, blue. She was born in 1900. So she lived to 102, but this was the year of her birth, the year of the Hamburger, the Stonehenge incident,
She was
which
born
we never.
in 1900.
Yeah, and she died probably when you were about 5.
2002.
Yeah,
No, I was 9.
9.
Yeah.
Where were you when the Queen Mother died?
I've got no idea.
Red, it's not 9/11.
Yeah, it was huge.
It was some people's 9/11.
Yeah, Matt, it was worse for me.
I don't know, but came to London once. I went to Buckingham Palace, and apparently, I can't remember why, but it was like they'd done a tour inside.
Yeah.
We went in, and it was the same time that the Queen Mother was there, so she was in the building whilst I was in the building.
Did you meet her?
No.
Do they show her to people? Was she in like a glass room?
No, I don't. I mean, I don't. They didn't show her to me. It wasn't like they sort of like had a curtain and occasionally they opened it.
I thought that'd
And
be
she was
fun.
there. But at that stage, I don't know how old she would have. She would have been in her 90s or something. So she was probably furious.
I would be pro royal family if it was like a zoo and you got to watch them do everything.
Yeah, that would be good. Actually,
I feel like that's
But
a
you
fair
wouldn't want to
trade-off.
watch them do everything
Like
with some of them.
like a really intense Love Island situation.
Yeah. I think then I think
Yeah.
eventually that's what they're gonna have to do. If the royal family wants to stay on top, they're gonna have to give a bit more. Like Kate and
William.
William just went to the Caribbean and they're in Jamaica and they're like, "Hey guys, we're here." And Jamaica was like, "Hey, how about you fuck off?" You know?
Yeah, they did
like,
say
we
that.
fucking hate you.
Yeah.
Fuck you. You colonize this country. You colonize like other islands nearby. Fuck you. And they're like, "Oh, you're not excited about the Queen's Jubilee?" And it's like, go fuck yourself. Like, we don't care about your mother. Imagine what you did to our fucking mother. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they just walk around with these big smiles. Like, guys, it's going to give at some point. You're the faces of a crumbling empire. So if they want to keep getting the public money to be given them so they can probably secretly pay off Andrew's legal bills from his fucking rape settlement.
He had to sell his place in Switzerland, actually.
That was a PR move. I would say if they want that to happen, then what we should get out of it is 24-hour access to their lives.
They should have to mate on TV. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like...
And not
like
with
pandas.
underage people.
Yeah. No.
It's
no,
gotta be.
I thought that went without saying.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, we had to clarify.
I was just making sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
It's
That's not what we're demanding.
No.
I have to say.
Did you see the picture of them in Jamaica? And it's a really bad picture. Obviously not intended to look the way it does, but it's loads of kids behind a metal fence who are in, like, obviously a school playground, and they're like putting their hands through, and Kate's like touching one of their hands, and it kind of looks like they're in prison, and, and she's just gotten off a boat or something, and it's not good. It's not. They should have gone somewhere else.
They should have just gone around the other side of the fence, I think.
Yeah, that would be, or just fucking stay in England.
Or just get a job.
Yeah.
Get a fucking job.
Yeah, they
That's what
could.
I mean.
But their job is they just tour around shaking people's hands.
Yeah.
And
But they know it's wrong as well. You know what I mean? I think like they're of the generation now, like the kids now, the youngest ones, what is William's kids called? I can't remember. They'll be like, oh, I've got to go to this place. They fucking hate us.
Yeah, at least Harry's making a podcast.
Yeah, he's got a pod.
But I'm not going to... That must be the most boring fucking podcast.
Well, don't say that because he's coming on this one soon.
Oh.
He's reached out. He's listening. He
Well,
knows
it's
how
a
much I
shame
love
that-
his grandma.
It's a shame that he didn't do this year so he could talk about the death of his great grand.
Yeah,
Wouldn't
we
it
had
be
Helen
great?
Barr on doing 97 about Diana. Wouldn't have wanted to do that one either. There's probably I
Yeah.
could keep listing years.
He'd have a lot to say.
Yeah, he would.
That would get a lot of listens.
Yeah.
But I do think that most people will listen to his podcast waiting for him to say anything that will like slag off the Queen or the royals or reveal.
Yeah, no one's listening
Everyone
to it because
just
he's
wants
fun.
to know what the truth is about everything.
Because he doesn't seem that interesting.
No, he's not. There's all these videos online where like clearly, probably incredibly racist people have decided that Meghan Markle is like a psychopath, and they're like saying like, I'm a body language expert.
Yeah, I love that.
I've just watched this interview with Meghan and Harry, and I've worked out exactly how she is abusing him.
Okay, yeah, you get that in all the celeb, like the tabloid papers. There's always a body language expert who will tell you exactly what Ben Affleck feels from like a weird muggy shot.
Just
from
the way
a
that he
lens.
blinks.
Yeah.
He's got 7 people in his base.
She's rubbing
I'm a
lotion.
body
on-
language expert.
Yeah, go on. Give us some.
No, I am.
Okay, go on.
Because I just said I am, which means I can do this thing too now.
Well,
How
Anna-
do you get into it? How do these people break into the industry? One day they just said, I'm a body language expert. And then they called into these shows and they said, hey, will you have me on? I'll talk about Kate and William. I'm a
What
body
does Sarah
language
think
expert.
at this moment?
Well, yeah, what am I saying?
When is this podcast over?
He's good. He's fucking good. He's good.
He's really good.
What is Red
Yeah.
thinking right now?
Um,
Leon's lunch.
I don't really no, not huge into Leon, but so yeah. Wait, sorry.
Queen Mother. Where were you when she died? Do you remember?
Crying at home. I did a minute's silence. No, I can't remember. It was a big deal though. I remember it being a
What
big
date
deal.
was it?
2002, she died. Hugely popular. What date was she born? Oh,
No,
Jesus Christ.
What date did she die?
2002.
Yeah.
Where did she celebrate her 28th birthday?
In Butlins.
Butlins, Bognor Regis.
Yeah, Bognor Regis, having a great time.
What was the happiest moment of her life?
When Diana died, probably, because I don't think she liked her.
What do you think made her orgasm easily?
Ooh,
When Diana
You didn't want to say it, but you wanted
really,
to say it.
I was hoping somebody else would say it. And then,
So you could- yeah.
You know when you can't let a joke go?
yeah.
So you're like, oh, I'm going to have to say it.
But she was I heard a story about it. She turned up at this place where everyone hated her because, royal family. And they were throwing loo roll at her, and apparently she picked up their loo roll and said, I think this is yours, and gave it back. Very classy in the face of her.
What, the Queen Mother said that?
Yeah.
Like, really?
Yeah. She was...
Sounds like she's an idiot.
she was strong.
Sounds like she didn't realise they were throwing it at her. She's like, guys, you're dropping all your loo roll. She's handing it back to them.
Yeah, I'll just quickly find, there's a very good quote about her.
Do none of them like each other then? This is the only thing
Well,
we hear.
once you're in a royal family, you're in competition with all your family, right? For supremacy of the family, and leading the family business of exploiting the money from the people.
Sounds like my family, man.
So they said.
Wrestling for an inheritance.
I am wrestling to be the queen.
They said she was like a wave breaking on a rock because although she is sweet and pretty and charming, she's also has a basic streak of toughness and tenacity. When a wave breaks on a rock, it showers and sparkles with a brilliant play of foam and droplets in the sun, yet beneath is really hard, tough rock.
This is a porno.
Well, I think it's a good description of one of my favourite ever people. I love you, Queen Mother. So,
what was her name?
The Queen Mother, for God's sake.
It's just really funny when your name is Queen Mother. This is Queen... What's her name? This is Queen Mother!
No, if you really want to know, her name was Elizabeth Angela Marguerite Bose Lyon. Leon.
Your ability
Bose lunch.
your ability to pronounce words.
That was her name.
And she invented the fajita.
Yeah, she was loved a fajita. She was the first one to get. What if we just wrap this up in some dough? Brilliant. So finally, we have the second Olympic Games in Paris, 1900. Awful event. Do you guys like the Olympics?
The second Olympic
Yeah.
Games was in 1900.
1900.
Well, they had them in ancient Greece and then took a break.
Okay. So it's not the second.
It's not the second. Well,
It's
the
the
second
second official.
modern era Olympics.
Okay.
Wait, I just thought they started quite.
They just started
Yeah.
late.
But the Olympics are based on the idea of competing.
Creation sport. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And
Just
Roman Greco competition.
Yeah. Wrestling, stuff like that.
Yeah.
What? Why are you? What's so
Sarah,
funny?
what's going on?
I just think this is just a believe everything you read on Wikipedia podcast.
Oh my goodness. No.
This is just-
Do you know about Corday? I've got a history degree.
This is just
Read us a 2-2 in history,
Yeah.
Sarah.
Are you disrespecting our pod?
the Olympics started in what?
But they're based on the idea was based on the Greek idea of the Olympics.
I don't think she takes us seriously at all.
I'm googling it.
Yeah.
No, I'm
No.
agreeing with
It's
you.
getting googled.
I'm agreeing
Fuck's
with
sake.
It's
you.
about to
We've
get
been
good.
exposed.
You're
17
getting
episodes
Googled.
in.
You're getting googled right now, Sarah.
We did an IQ test. We did very well.
My IQ is 200.
And mine was 195, so
190.
190.
Oh, yeah, sorry. It's dropping as we speak.
We did check my IQ.com. So go on, Bobby, just tell.
Wow,
Smarty
Sarah's about to get her
pants, yeah.
fucking mind blown.
You're just reading the same article.
I love it. She comes on a pod with two historians and thinks she can go toe to toe with our Google.
The Olympics creation was inspired by ancient Olympic Games held in Olympia, Greece, from the 8th century BC to the 4th century AD. Oh, I'm
Athens.
sorry, Sarah. They had 1,200 years of Olympics
Bobby,
before the modern Olympics.
I'm agreeing with
I know you're agreeing with me, but also
You-
do
doesn't
not
know
question the knowledge held between these two minds.
But the knowledge is different.
The knowledge in Red's mind is often bad.
It's contradictory.
It's not. We just said a couple of things. They don't have to be checked
Red
all the
said
time.
the second Olympic Games
Was it in
in modern history.
Okay,
Yeah.
so also, you want to... first modern games was in Athens in 1896. They happen once every 4 years,
yeah,
Sarah.
No, I know that.
So
yeah.
we're doing
number
1900s.
two,
So
yeah.
the second modern games, as I said. So,
So did you say modern games in the film?
I said something. Yeah, modern. But I just assume everything's, in league with that. Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. I apologize.
Here's what happened. I told Red it would be good if for continuity, if one of us did all the research for one episode and the other did the next episode, break it up a bit, make it a bit interesting.
Yeah.
What's happened is Red was trusted with too much.
Yeah.
No, you did an easier year. Mine was very tough. And I've given all the details out. And
Do you choose your own years?
Yeah.
That's how we did it this time.
yeah.
I think from now on, some responsibility might be
I think
taken away from Red.
Maybe we give Red a year where nothing happens.
Well, this is what's happened this time.
You
'Cause we
chose the
the
year,
tune-
Red.
Yeah, but we needed one that was like different to your. It's been a disaster.
Okay. I've had a great time.
I've had a good time too.
Have
It
I
just fell
learned
apart at the
anything?
end when you started rumbling us. But yeah,
I think the low point was when you didn't know the Queen Mother's name.
I said her name. It was, yeah, it was
Queen Mother.
It was whatever I said about 44 minutes
Louise
into
Lunch.
the Queen Mother. Well, that's how she's always been known. I've never known anyone to know otherwise. Yeah. Got anything to sell, Sarah?
Got anything to sell? I'm doing an Edinburgh Fringe show. That'll be on sale at some point.
Wow, if you're listening and you're going to be at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, come and see me and Red and Sarah Keyworth.
Where's your venue?
It's at the Pleasance Courtyard
Nice.
at 5:40.
Oh,
Cabaret
good.
bar.
Nice.
Are you chaps doing it?
Yeah, I'm at the Pleasance at 9:55.
Ooh.
I'm doing one of the Monkey Barrel rooms
Nice.
at 11:05.
So you could do a double bill. You could do a little Red Bobby double bill.
We're going to do a daily Year Is podcast.
Are you?
Every
No.
hour.
Oh, I thought you were going to do
We might.
live shows.
We could do a live show. It's not a bad
Yeah,
idea.
yeah. I'd come back on.
Need your brains for this more often.
Yeah. Yeah. Should we talk about the long-term plan for this podcast now?
I think we're just going to try and just get by, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
That's
first
good, isn't it?
goal
That's
is for
good.
Red to know enough
Yeah.
for the next
Wait,
episode.
what did
so
you
we're gonna
know in the
focus on
last
that.
one? You did like 1982. It's just like, you're like, AC/DC released an album. It's like, great information, Bobby. Thank you very much.
Mm. Well, thank you for tuning in to the Year's podcast. Next week, we'll have a different co-host. We don't know who it'll be, but it'll be someone.
It won't be the Queen Mother.
No.
I can guarantee.
Because we don't know her fucking name and she's dead. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow, and if you had a good time with this insane, weird ride we've taken you on with the brilliant Sarah Keyworth, tell your friends.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to an episode of The Year Is with me, comedian Bobby Mair, and my sometimes friend Red Richardson. This podcast has been produced by our brilliant producer, Jody Vandenberg. Thank you.